Hi, I'm DJ.
I'm Peter.
I'm Chad.
I'm Dylan.
And we're doing a review of Pokemon together.
This is one of the first and possibly only group reviews we're probably going to be doing, so...
Yeah. So this will be a bit of a change of pace for our reviews. Because this is such a big game and a game that we're all really interested in, whereas the other reviews, we're kind of like independent with each other and doing our own thing, or playing games that we individually like. This is definitely one of the games that we discussed prior on that we all agreed we're reviewing and we're going to talk about.
It's something that definitely needs an extra step of care.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to a game like Pokemon in any context, it definitely requires a little more in-depth analysis, I think.
Yeah, and a game so controversial as Sword and Shield definitely deserves the time to be talked about in more depth than what some of the reviews we've done so far, which have only been somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes long.
Yeah, and this they've all been mostly single player, in JRPGs and stuff. So this is kind of a brand new sort of experience where there's more to it, because a lot of the games we do play have online aspects, but the online aspects will only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the online aspects in this are much more integrated into the flow of the game itself.
I wouldn't say... Well, we'll get into the review for the game when it comes to that. I would say this game is very much similar to what we've reviewed so far, actually. Maybe not as much as, Death Stranding, but this I think this is the one game that we all, when we were thinking about coming up with the ideas for the channel, when I said reviews to you guys, instantly we all said... We're reviewing Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we all actually talk about this, and and it's good that we're all in different stages of the game. Someone who hasn't played it yet and wants to know more, someone who's halfway through the game, and somebody who's pretty much at the end of the game, knows the end content because he's been watching his roommates.
So I think things we should touch on is sort of battle mechanics, what's changed, the Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing, is it good or not? Music, art style, and story-wise, some of the big things we need to touch on.
Yeah, and I know that Chad, since you're the one who hasn't played the game, you might have some questions on.
No, yeah, definitely.
Anything. So shoot your shot. Tell us which what do you think is what question is really ringing?
One of my biggest questions is, in terms of just the battle system in general, the gym style, would you say that this is more of a return to form from the previous generation?
Actually, I would say it's a very return to the gym standard format. The challenges you go through the gyms are very basic sort of puzzle mechanics. The water gym with Nessa, her mechanic is literally push all these buttons in a certain order to get past the puzzle.
Yeah.
And even when you saw with the first gym with the Wooloo roundup, that was kind of fun because you kind of sort of either made a decision of go to beat the trainer or go around the Yampers to get by. Overall, I would really say that it's more of a return to the standard gyms, but for previous generations than it really is for the Island Trials.
Right.
I would actually say that it's kind of a better version of the Island Trials, because the gimmick of this gym style is actually you're in a tournament. You're not just some random schmuck who's
who literally walks into who literally's going to be walking into the gym saying, "I want a gym badge."
It's a whole, you go with in this whole ceremony thing, and you're with hundreds of other players, and you are all supposed to go up the ranks and beating the gyms. It's soccer. It's a soccer.
Yeah.
It's football.
So essentially, would you say that this is everything Pokemon should have been in a more natural form?
Feels natural.
Yeah, does it
so basically from going from gym to gym, it feels a lot, for me at least, for travel wise, it feels a lot more back to base. If Gen 1 was from the rock type gym, go to Cerulean City via Mount Moon, and that's what a lot of these things are, is literally just through the routes, go through it.
Yeah.
But because a lot of the island challenges really okay, you beat this one, now we'll just walk down the route and go there. It was only micro dungeons, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good way of describing Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. They're micro dungeons, where this brings back the idea of gyms, but it has a cool twist to gyms. It, like I was saying, it's not just you, just some random person just randomly going to the gyms. There's a purpose to it all. There's a reason why you and the rivals you meet in this game are going through the gym challenges. I think it's a lot more fun, personally, in like making it more believable and more like engaging. But I think this really solidifies the whole. You're playing Pokemon because you want to feel like you're part of the universe.
Yeah.
And this one really solidifies that.
Okay.
It really solidifies the fact that...
So you actually feel like you're a part of this world. You genuinely feel like, I am like a legitimate character in this
yes,
game.
you have a purpose, basically.
Yeah, you have a purpose.
You're not like the player
like...
character where you're silent, but you're like still a silent protagonist, but like you're not the silent protagonist left to like literally just go along with it. You have like goals set in mind. Like basically the first thing is like, oh, like even though you don't want to, you have to be the rabbit to hop. And even though he's probably the worst character in the game, you have set goals, like, the kind of themes overall, but you still fill in that, like, blank slate character where, like, anyone could be this certain person. Right. It's just, like, how you play.
Really the last thing I want to talk about in terms of gyms is, I know that they have this new system where you, like, in Sword and Shield, you have your main set of gym leaders, but then the 8 other ones. And
it's like the 16.
So, the 16
okay,
overall
and they do explain how the major and minor league works. Okay. Literally, if the gym is not good enough, it'll get moved down to minor league.
Okay.
That is the little thing they will say.
Which is very similar to real life and teams.
In teams inside soccer.
And players in teams, if like a player gets injured, they have to go to the minor leagues.
Yeah, I got it.
Similar to this, if a gym leader isn't up to standard, so like there's a gym leader in this game, the 7th gym leader, who is most likely... He's a character that is a bit afraid of being a gym leader. He thinks he sucks.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that maybe in the next season, which this game doesn't actually follow the seasons or the time in real life, so it's based off of its own time.
It's based on an inner clock.
Yeah, it's its own clock. So whatever the next season for the in-game time is, there might be a new slew of gym leaders, which would be really cool because then I would allow, I believe it would allow not only replayability, but it would allow me to verse gym leaders that are in Sword.
Yeah, so you
versus the ones initially that I played in my Shield versions. Like there's the Ghost type gym leader and the Fighting type gym leader. Were the ones that they expressed were different. Yeah. There's a huge possibility now.
What was the other one? The Ice and the Rock?
The Ice and the Rock is also another one that they show off. There's a good possibility that like those gym leaders might be swapped out.
I think actually the Wild Area and the Raid Battles are probably one of the biggest expansions to this, and it feels a lot more like a breedable world rather than like a linear set thing. Because like at certain points between gyms, yes, it'll feel linear, but when you get to the Wild Area, though, you can literally spend hours and hours going in there, catching Pokemon or grinding and like leveling up like through the raid battles or through like just finding tough Pokemon on your own.
I'm actually very opposite about the Wild Area. I think it feels rather empty. I've been watching a lot of reviews, and of course I've got roommates who have played through the whole thing, and they all like it. They all enjoy it. Like every night this week so far, we've been playing on them. We've been like linking up together in Max and going into Max raids and playing them and getting a bunch of XP candies and all this. I think it's empty and rather the veil of mystery, once you get in there and it's the first time you're in there and you're like, holy shit, there's like there's Pokemon everywhere, they're walking, it's so fun. Yeah. It gets really boring at the end. Like right towards the end where I'm at because now it's just a grind fest of finding the strongest Pokemon. Okay. Which they aren't all strong anymore.
Filling out the Pokedex anyway.
Yeah, so. They aren't strong anymore because after you beat the 8th gym leader, you can catch any Pokemon you want. I think it's boring. I think it's
it's probably boring because it's probably the first of its like sort of kind for Pokemon, or a lot more of like the regions, and especially with sometimes like I'll literally just go back to the Wild Area and like literally just grind for Watts for literally upgrades or for better TMs, because that is literally the only way you could get TRs inside some of these is either through a raid battle or through the spending Watts, which you will get like 50 to 300 Watts per battle, I guess. From
and
each
it actually
Pokemon den.
Increases after the once you beat the champion league. It increases the Watts per thing.
Yeah, so basically, so that's what I was expecting. Like you probably get a lot more gains and like a lot more. The post game should focus more on the Wild Area too. Mm-hmm. I would say, because if they didn't do that, it'd be a complete waste of time, in my opinion. But like if they have a reason to keep coming back to it, then it's something that should be in there then. Okay. What I really want them to do, though, is to kind of sort of expand onto that and sort of like make the Wild Area the entire region. I don't I feel like having a linear thing between here and there is nice, but I feel like if you had a region where the wild area sort of connects all of the cities and towns, rather it being like, oh, like this is over here, like you have to go there very linearly. If you make like a large open world like Breath of the Wild does, like a lot of the towns are located on the outskirts of the area, so you have that like sort of like nice Breath of the Wild area to work with, make you feel like a real ecosystem in the sense that Pokemon can appear at different levels naturally.
I kind of want to add about the max raid battles, because we're on that, is the nature between like Dynamax and Gigantamax, which is Sword and Shield's kind of like gimmick, really big Pokemon. Gigantamaxing is the same thing as Dynamaxing, except it changes their form. It's basically a lot like Mega Evolution. But the only way to get Gigantamax Pokemon, as opposed to just normal Dynamax Pokemon, is to get them through max raids.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for those new forms, maybe you really like Gigantamax Toxtricity, and you want to get him, you have to find a Toxtricity in a max raid battle, catch it, and that'll be able to Gigantamax. Normal Toxels you just find in the wild won't have that ability, they'll just have the Dynamax. So
yeah, that brings up a good point. Like, me and my roommates, we play max raid battles all the time since the game came out. One of the things is that like kind of helps with the idea of playing with more people is there are certain Gigantamax forms in Sword and there are certain Gigantamax forms in Shield.
Yeah.
So my roommate has Sword. One of my roommates has Sword.
So you trade.
So I was able to get a Butterfree Gigamax, and those forms are really, really cool.
They're really cool, but like they're not really accessible because like the Meowth you get, which is like the present you for like he's the only one like, in our current party that could Gigantamax basically, and that's kind of a shame. Where you feel like I feel like if you reach a certain bond, like playing through Pokemon Camp, like and that's the thing like I feel like should have happened. Like Gigantamax should be based on the bond and friendship you have with your Pokemon. And that would be a lot more better way to creating your Pokemon Camp and actually playing with your Pokemon.
Right.
Because otherwise, Pokemon Camp's like, what? It's a free heal, it's a free restore for everything, basically.
It's a free XP farm, too.
Exactly. It's like, I don't feel connected with my Pokemon like I did with the other games in Sun and Moon and like Pokemon and Me. Because like with Pokemon and Me, like critical hits more easily, as well as like you could dodge multiple moves in a row, if your bond with your Pokemon was that strong. And I feel like a lot of people kind of overlook that fact as well, because like it's such a like out of the way niche thing to like about the game and motion controls in general. But I thoroughly enjoyed like Pokemon Camp and like the Curry Make, because it like gets me active and like makes me feel like connected to my Pokemon really, rather than like having like just me sit down and like, all right, here's a bunch of stuff and then there you go.
I don't think max raid battles and Gigantamax were meant to be this thing that was common, because I think the way the max raid battles work in the Gigantamax Pokemon is like it's on its set schedule, and that it rotates, I think it's daily or weekly, where you can catch certain Gigantamax Pokemon at certain times. So it's supposed to be like this big event that you wait for and anticipate and then go out and actively seek, rather than something you just, I guess, happen upon or have an overflux of while you're playing. It was, randomly I discovered my Meowthkin Gigantamax. It's meant to be this like really memorable event that happens in game.
Yeah, like before you even do a max raid battle, you get to see the little, like a blackened sprite. That little veil of mystery of like, I've never seen a Gigantamax form, so is this Pokemon going to be Gigantamaxed? And then when you get in there, you can either have the joy of seeing a Gigantamaxed Butterfree, or you can get, I don't know.
Bullaby.
Oh,
it's a story and a half to go through.
Like, but those are still fun. Like, I think one of the cool parts of doing a max raid battle, which is very similar to other like RPGs like Destiny, is where you have to really talk to your teammates. So like there's some mechanics in the game in the Dynamax where the Pokemon can actually build a shield around itself.
Yeah, the guard.
Yeah, to like protect itself from damage. So like you can have one of your teammates who you know doesn't have a good super effective Pokemon against the Dynamax Pokemon. Have them just do like keep hitting the shield while you can Dynamax, because you have the better Pokemon, you Dynamax, and then you do two more, you do an extra hit on a Pokemon, and if it's super effective, or in late game if it's anything from the legendaries, it can break through the shield and actually hit the Pokemon even more. Yeah, so I think we should touch on some other things. Davis, I think I'll talk about story mainly. But if you want to touch on your initial thoughts on the story so far for you and where you're at, or if you have any questions about story, Chad, if you want to maybe throw those out first.
No,
up to whoever wants to go first.
So we've played enough. Like Chad's played enough to like get to the past the first gym at least, and that's what we've done so far. But like for me and Dylan's playthrough though, like we're like 5 gym badges in. We just beat Opal, the Queen of England.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
She literally just abducted Bede to take him along to go train him or whatever.
That was really
and that was funny. Yes,
really
no.
funny.
Like at some points of the story, like in my opinion, it's very endearing. But at some points, it's absolutely unbearable in the sense that I don't want to deal with Hop. Like dealing with Hop is one of the most tedious things that you could ever do because you know what he is already. You've seen it before, and you don't like it. It's not like you want like if you're his rival because his brother said you're his rival. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, gotcha.
And the point about that is like no, like I want to have a competition to grow with each other. And if you're both like too kind, like
so,
in Pokemon Let's Go, the rival was way too kind, and that's what
rival was way too easy. He gives you like max potions. And
literally.
Max
Also, another thing about that
nothing. He's like a dude at a strip club with $1 bills. He's just throwing.
He's just making it rain at every single stripper.
Here's another max revive. Here's another one. It's like, oh my god, stop making it so easy.
In terms of the rival, at least in Hop's case. It's another, this rival is way too friendly to enjoy in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. I know that there are multiple rivals, so is there any rival that you've encountered so far that you think, like, at least fills the void that Hop leaves to some extent?
Marnie is best girl, I'll say that right now.
Marnie is really fun. She's really cool. Like I saw her in when I first saw her in promotional stuff. I was like, "You're gonna be my best friend. We're gonna be partners. We're gonna be cool. You're awesome." Because I love her character design. It's one of the reasons why I choose like my female characters because I love the character designs are sometimes better. But Marnie was really cool. I'm actually gonna counter your point. If we want to get into spoilers real quick.
Yeah. All right. So I'll throw up the spoilers right now. So.
Yeah,
whatever the time is on the screen, we'll skip to it, and then that's where you just skip to. But we're doing spoilers now, so close your ears if you don't want to hear it.
Or skip to whenever we stop talking about the game. So Hop is actually a very interesting character towards the end of the game.
Okay, Hop.
Because he keeps losing. Like, he's not...
Like he should.
He's not, not just losing to you, but he's losing to other... He's losing to other NPCs... He's losing to other gyms. And he keeps switching up his battle style, like changing Pokemon in and out. He's not just like, here's the set team that they will always have for the entire game. Yeah, no, he's like changing Pokemon left and right.
So he's legitimately trying to
He's struggling. He's struggling.
Like, he's struggling and he's failing so much because of the weight of being the little brother to Leon, which is the main champion in this game. And towards the end of the game... He not only, I believe, from what my roommate said, like gets the reverse title character or Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like if you're in Shield, you get.
Oh, so you literally Leon gives him the. Oh, he has the legendary.
He catches the other legendary while you catch your titular legendary. And you guys are pretty much like heroes.
So basically, it's basically like the end situation where he like either you get Zekrom or he gets Reshiram.
Yeah, but like not as cool.
Exactly.
I will say it's not as cool as that. But like he eventually realizes at the end, like I'm really bad at Pokemon. I'm really bad at Pokemon battling, but I really love catching them and I really love being with Pokemon.
So I'll become a Pokemon professor.
So he kind of turns into like a Pokemon breeder, similar to how the anime is going, where Ash's like partner trainer isn't like also in the same mindset of I want to be the very best. It's I want to catch every Pokemon in the world. That's what being a Pokemon master means to me.
He wants to catch them all.
He wants to catch them all. Where like Ash is like I want to just he's so ambiguous.
Go explore and then fight.
He's so ambiguous that I don't even know if that's actually his thing. Because Ash,
because now
it's been so many years now that you don't know anymore.
How many times has he been rebooted?
Yeah, it's a couple, too many. Yeah. But like, Hop actually goes through like a very natural progression,
it's
like
more
a natural
of
arc.
Development rather
than
okay.
It's not like where sometimes I feel like whenever I'm playing a Pokemon game, and I consistently go through the Elite Four over and over and over again, like. I see the same trainer come up to me and be like, I'll beat you this time, and I'm like, I know you're not. I have level 100s, and your Pokemon are level 30 or like level 60s. This one's like
youngster James wants to battle.
Yeah. Like it's actually like I'm done being you're right. Like we can still battle, but like it's only like for pure fun. Yeah. Not to prove who's stronger. It's because you're my friend and I want to battle.
That's really cool. They did something
That's
different.
That's actually heartwarming.
Yeah.
My only problem is that it's such a slog in the beginning with Hop.
Yeah.
Every route,
like I feel
every
like
town, you run into Hop.
It's another
his spiel.
Default battle against him.
Yeah, it'd be okay if he was like the overconfident, I'm gonna win everything thing. If you didn't talk to him and fight him and hear it every 5 minutes of gameplay. He's so overbearing. If they tone that back, I think they would be a lot better. But I'm really glad to hear that he gets a lot better in the end game.
Yeah,
it gets better.
The end game, my roommates are like, he's so much more better. He's the real winner of.
Because he has an actual dream now, and he could accomplish that dream.
Yeah. Other characters I like in the game so far I won't spoil other stuff. I think Hop is an important one because you see him the most. But Marnie is probably very similar to her own Pokemon, where she's kind of bipolar. Where in one interaction she's like, "Oh, you're my friend. I have good luck," but then the next morning she's like, pretty much, "Go F yourself." Yeah. Like, I hope you lose this fight. I'm like, what happened to the Marnie in the morning? Like, I was like,
I want that Marnie.
I want that one. But it's like integrated to the fact that that's her Pokemon. Her Pokemon that she has is a
Mochapico, and like it literally the ability is like to switch between like electric and dark type.
Yeah,
every
and like
turn.
Every turn.
And it like changes. It's like called like an anger form.
Hangry.
And full stomach.
Yeah. So like, she's got like a similar personality to her own Pokemon, and that was cool. Bead.
He's an absolute asshole, but like it gets better.
He's actually really probably my favorite rival.
Yeah.
Really? Since Barry.
How do you pronounce his name? Beady? Betty?
Betty. We'll say Betty for now.
I call him Beady.
I've been calling
Bede.
him Bede since Davis said it was Bede. I think that's a lot beady Beady.
Beady-eyed motherfucker.
I think it sounds really...
Because Bede is so much better.
Beady
is like, it's his initials and they wrote it out to be cute or whatever.
Yeah. I would like actually to see what the real names of these trainers inside the Japanese version are, because it probably makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to get across,
except for freaking red, blue, and green, whatever the heck that's all about. Yeah, you're green. You're green in Japan, but in everywhere else you're blue. But then we're gonna make a character also named Green. It's like
and now Green's a girl.
Yeah. I'm saying like Green's now the female, but we're still gonna call blue green because in Sun and Moon, or I think it's in both. But like, when you go to the battle tree and you meet blue and red, blue's wearing green pants. It's like, is he blue or is he green? Whatever. But like, I really like Bede. Even though he's really easy because all he has is psychic types.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
We've been literally just like using our Aegislash and like
has psychic types
and Night Slash. He only uses psychic types.
Yeah.
Which I think is. But it's setting up to him being the next gym leader, I think.
It's a little on the nose.
Because
they're setting up a lot for your other two rivals to be gym leaders, because Marnie's brother is a gym leader.
Yep.
And he's the dark type gym leader who sucks, and he's like, I want you to run the gym. And then they're setting up
Bede to be the replacement for Opal.
Yeah, which could be a psychic type gym leader. And those would be fun. I don't know explicitly if that happens in the end game.
Probably not.
But yeah, I think the story so far, it's very bare bones, and I think it's kind of cool. Like, it's like there's a bunch of points in the game where it's like, so what the government has been telling us is a lie. After uncovering things, what is the true story of the Darkest Day, which is like where the Dynamax phenomenon
came from.
Yeah, the
end game type of level.
Yeah, well, it's not end game. It's
story.
It's the story. Yeah. The Darkest Day is like part of the main story.
Okay.
And you do a lot more past that in the end game. But like the main story is like, so is it one hero who saved the day? Is it 2 heroes? Is it actually 2 Pokemon? And why are these Pokemon holding a sword and a shield in its mouth? It's like all these different things. It's like, what's the real story? And you find out when you get to the end.
Yeah.
Which, once again, I won't spoil what happens. But
you find out.
You get to that point of why everything is the way it is.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. So, since right now we're watching Davis play Pokemon, let's actually touch on the character customization.
Oh my god!
Because
the best part about this game is what they really did showcase inside the trailers for the trainer customization.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to do.
I have spent way too much money on like changing my character's hair, her eyes, her lip. So once again,
you can get rid of the chunky bag.
Basically,
absolutely.
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 I do not like the brown bag at all.
I think it is so much
there's
better.
a lot more designs to it, but like overall, like I think they work a lot better.
That boxy
the box.
Okay, I understand why they did it because
the Demon Slayer box on his back.
It okay, so I get
it will not work for.
I get what they're trying to do. It's the trunk. It's the Harry Potter trunk you're carrying around. You know.
So dumb.
It's dumb. But like it's like okay, all right. It's fine.
It looks really
I literally have a rectangular cube on my back. Okay?
Yeah.
It must be not comfortable at all.
Unless he's carrying, unless he's carrying Best Girl Nezuko, then he's not. Then he has no right to be wearing that bag.
Exactly.
But I think that's why I went with the female protagonist, because I love her character design. I love the pink dress she has at the beginning. I love the little like palm beret thing. Those are really cool. And then to even amp that up throughout the rest of the game, like right now I have her as like kind of like a punk rock,
that type of
grassy goth girl, where she's got like black jackets, black boots, and like dark makeup, but her eyes are like piercing red. Her hair is platinum blonde. Her skirt and her t-shirt are all green to match the starter. She also has green like
Grookey gang.
Grookey. We'll talk
about starters after this.
Yeah. We'll talk about starters after that.
I think the starters were the more disappointing part about this game.
Yeah, we'll talk about what I absolutely hate about this game after. But like the customization, it's very limited. I will say it's not like you can do a whole lot with like hair and makeup.
In terms of like the physical character itself, it's more just the outfits.
The outfits you can do a lot with. There's definitely more in the end game for outfits. You also get the outfits of each gym.
Yeah, after you beat them, and you can buy more outfits from the
other
gym
leagues, from the minor leagues and all that.
And some of them look really cool.
Yeah. I'm in love with the
type,
poison.
And the steel type and poison type were
poison type. I was like half tempted to buy it, and then I saw, oh crap! I blew all my money on changing my hair too many times. I can't actually buy this.
And that's why you stock up on like treasures, which you could find only in the wild area.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. There are tons of like stardust, rare bones, tiny mushrooms, big mushrooms.
So basically,
you can
keep your eyes open.
You'll see it in like
it's not like the old Pokemon games where it's like you literally have to press A while walking around. There'll be small little like glimpses of flashes, like sparkles on the ground. So whether it be underneath a tree, it could be like an apple or like some sort of berry.
In Monster Hunter World, where it's at least visible.
Yeah, it's visible to the naked eye, but you still have to keep out for it.
You know something's there. You don't know if it's like a recipe for your food or a big nugget.
You just know that something is there.
And that's fine. And I like that. Like it allows you to like explore different areas of it. There's little nooks and crannies you can go. Like you can collect every single like evolution stone in the wild area.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So let's talk about the Pokemon themselves and catching them.
Oh, can we talk about the fossil Pokemon?
Oh god,
so disgusting.
Oh god,
they're so awful.
I honestly don't want to do our fossils because they just look so bad.
It was a neat concept, but they executed it somehow so poorly. It's like they wanted it to fail.
Like
I'll explain. Pretty much, you get 2 pieces of a fossil.
Oh god.
A head and a body, and you can just mash anything together.
Oh god, that's some
I saw a picture of like this tiny little head on this giant ass body.
Yeah,
and the
it's
head
like,
was shivering, and I'm like, it looks like it wants to kill itself. Like it looks
it probably
looks
does.
like what it's pretty much.
So
I felt
it's
the
like-
same emotions as I did in Full Metal Alchemist.
when
no,
I had
too
those
soon.
same
Too soon.
emotions.
You stop that
Those
right now.
same emotions came flooding back when I saw that. I was
No.
like,
Ed,
I was
You
like,
stop that right now.
this is.
You stop that right now. No.
It's a monstrosity. Those are awful.
What?
I don't want to touch on them anymore. They are
'Cause
just
they're
disgusting.
Yeah, I
Like
got you.
it's cool. They could have done a little better with it.
I mean, they literally shoved a bird
Okay.
head on a T-Rex.
T-Rex
Okay.
body,
So
yeah.
I have one question about that, just one only. Is there a right way to do it, or is everything that comes out just disgusting?
I believe if
there's
you,
only 4 you could actually get, and they all look decently bad. But
One,
beside the only like Arctic fish one, that was like the only one I didn't think that was bad because like it looked like an actual fish
Right.
rather than like a dragon mix, which I thought it was weird. We'll probably put a picture up during the gameplay over here of what it actually looks like.
God, that is horrifying.
Yeah, they don't look like they want to. They
They
are.
do not want to be alive.
They are Frankenstein's creations throughout the design,
Oh God.
which is like I don't want to look at that because
Like,
I
I'm
don't
just
think
looking
it's.
at
I
the
don't
color
even wanna-
scheme of 2 of them. The color scheme is atrocious.
yeah, I don't even want to put.
Let's just.
I don't care
I think
how-
we can fast forward past
Yeah,
this.
Yeah. So overall, fossil Pokemon suck. Let's talk about the starters. For me, it was between the lesser of 3 evils, but I've actually when I first started the game, I was like I saw leaked images of Scorbunny's evolutions.
And
Pokemon's
basically,
evolutions,
it's a soccer.
It's a
and
soccer
Sobble-
ball.
Yeah,
Sobble's
it's
evolutions.
a lad.
They were super underwhelming. They, especially coming off of Ultra Sun and Moon, where the starters in those games are actually like really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like I Incineroar, after playing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Incineroar became like my favorite starter. Like right after Froakie and Greninja, which is personally my favorite starter.
Mm-hmm.
But like they were awful. Like I was
Yeah.
like, okay, Scorbunny looks like it just looks disgusting. Like its final evolution just looks so dumb. Inteleon looks like a pervert. It's just really skinny and gross.
It's
really weird.
Grookey's evolution is just like
It's Super Saiyan 3.
Super
Yeah.
Saiyan
It's
3
Super
hair
Saiyan
and a
3.
drum.
I don't like. I didn't like
It's a
any
gorilla
of
with a
them. They
bongo.
all,
I mean-
even their middle forms are super unmemorable. Like they're just so
I thought
bad.
Thwacky was okay.
No,
Well,
he's
Thwacky's
so
I mean, now we
freaking
have 2
autistic.
6 poke things in the eyes
Yeah.
with.
It's so dumb.
Okay.
But my roommates and me, we all decided to trade each other. Once somebody found a Ditto, we would get eggs to have
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
get all 3
Just to at
starters.
least have it.
Oh,
Save
And-
that's
time.
ugly.
As I'm playing with them more and more, having them in my party right now, having them for 2 gyms so far. They've grown on me a lot more. Like,
Okay.
Scorbunny's final evolution, which is Cinderace, I think it's very natural that they make a Pokemon similar to the country that is resembling
Yeah.
famous sport.
Yeah, I think that's
Especially since
like
the
it
gyms.
makes sense.
And then similar with Inteleon, who is supposed to be
James
a
Bond,
spy,
yeah,
and it's
007,
similar to
that type of thing.
and I don't really see how a Jamaican gorilla fits into.
I think it's like rock. They're trying to fit into that like sort of like music.
Because it has like
Yeah.
a little. Actually,
It's got a little
that's
like
not
little
right,
hair
yeah.
piece. Yeah.
It felt super Jamaican, and then now that you mention it, it kind of looks like those punk rock '80s bands that
punk
had
rock
like the
drummers,
puff,
yeah,
hair
yeah.
metal.
The puffy mullets and then the one strand of hair going down like this.
yeah, like Kiss
Yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Speaking of which, Toxtricity, the
Oh,
punk rock
yes.
Pokemon
Come on,
is
yeah.
a
Okay,
great
let's
design,
talk about designs that
also based
work.
on
All right,
like,
so-
music and
Designs
punk
that
rock.
work,
All right,
please, because
so-
Toxtricity is.
So
I
Toxtricity
love it.
and this other one, it's called the final evolution of Imptid.
Oh, Morgan again.
Grimmsnarl.
Oh, Grimmsnarl.
No,
Yeah.
Grimmsnarl?
Yeah.
Those are probably the best looking.
Yeah, the best
evolutions.
designs.
The best designs in the game,
Yep.
hands down.
One
they are
Pokemon.
super fun. I don't think the other Pokemon really stand out to me. Nothing really like says "catch me" more than seeing an older generation, which is a big fault in this game. Is you see a lot, especially in the wild area, you see way too many older generation Pokemon.
And you're like, you get kicked in the face with nostalgia, and you're like, I want it.
Yeah.
Like, I want this. Like when I saw Aegislash in the wild, I was like, I want him over dumb Grookey any day. So I definitely like tried catching it as soon as I can level it up. Which brings me on to let's actually keep talking about character design.
I will say, it might be weird, but the Apple Dragon Pokemon I absolutely love.
Oh, Apple!
More power to you.
So
More
dumb.
power to you,
It's so
man.
dumb,
Well,
but I love it because of it.
I like the big boy Apple Dragon better than the weirdly slim.
The Flappy?
Yeah, Flappy.
Yeah,
whatever it's
Flapple.
called.
Flapple,
I
yeah.
like Flapple more.
Some of the newer like character designs kind of takes me out of the game because I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what in Darwin's evolution made Roly-Coly decide I should be more like a minecart?
I mean,
Why?
It does live near the mines where there are rails.
But that doesn't
so...
make
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah, I get that.
You don't.
Thematically, it like in a natural world that would not work.
Same with Score Bunny's evolution. What in the evolution, Darwin's evolution, made you decide I should be more like a soccer player? That'll help me survive in the wilderness.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kick around big
well, I
balls
think
of fire.
that's the thing though. Like that's kind of like raising the argument of like, oh, is evolution actually like natural?
Well,
Which I think is a pretty cool thing to like think about and theorize. Like overall,
It's
is like
bringing
is
back
Pokemon
Garb
evolution?
Border vibes for me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's bringing back Garb Border vibes. Like, okay,
Just
sure,
why?
I get it. Like, the city is disgusting, so you should have a Pokemon that resembles the dirty trash of a city. But, like,
So Gen
what
5 rubbish.
Pokemon decided to just
Play
do
soccer,
that?
yeah.
What Pokemon decided I want to be trash to survive? It's like,
Well,
whatever.
I think that's the thing, again, with what Davis was saying. It was just like, how natural is evolution supposed to be? Because I know that there are some cases where you kind of have to force a Pokemon to evolve through trading, which that's abnormal. Like, you can't
No,
really
I'm not
do that
saying
naturally.
That's a whole nother.
I'm
That's
not
a whole
saying,
nother
like,
can of worms we're not gonna open up now.
I'm not like saying like the physical evolution,
Yeah.
like getting to the evolution. I'm saying like the design just doesn't logically make sense to
Okay.
me. It's like
Yeah.
it's like if we grew gills
For no apparent reason.
for no reason.
Yeah, you can
Well, when
kind
I
of.
looked at Roly
Again, even
well,
though
I looked at
That's-
Roly-Coly and I was thinking like rock and roll like vibes, because like
A little bit.
a little
a
bit,
little
yeah.
bit, at least to some extent. Like, I think I haven't seen Roly-Coly's like middle evolution. I know it has a final one.
Roly-Coly's middle evolution is just a giant minecart.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Filled
just
with
a
coal.
minecart
So
with
what
holes.
about his final evolution?
His final evolution looks like Godzilla.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
That's pretty much it. I think that one's. It definitely makes more sense to me that it looks
So,
like that
you
than it does a
okay.
minecart.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't know how a minecart turns into Godzilla. That's a
Okay,
whole
well,
other
here's the
issue.
thing. You say Godzilla, and there was very blatantly a Godzilla reference in this game because of Duraludon, I think? The weird steel dragon Pokemon that's supposed to be some type of rival to, what is it, Tyranitar. So, like,
Oh, BS rival is
Yeah. Honestly, I understand what they're trying to do, but like it's just not working for me. That's a no for me,
Okay.
dog.
because he was supposed to be some type of Mecha Godzilla reference.
I will say though.
It's Zoro Magiros from Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah!
I will say though.
What's it called?
The
Colossal?
Galarian.
Oh, God.
The Galarian form Pokemon, so the revamped versions of
Yes.
Pokemon. It's like Zigzagoon,
Wheezing.
Okay,
Weezing,
hot
Ponyta.
take.
I'm Doug
Galarian
Dimmadome, owner of the
Meowth.
Big Doug Dimmadome.
Oh,
Galarian
God.
Meowth?
Meowth is
No.
fucking adorable.
No.
No,
I
we've had this
love
conversation
him.
before.
I
It's
love
ugly.
him. I love
It's
the
ugly.
kid cat.
I would disagree with you guys hating Meowth, but it's because I love every single Galarian form that is in this game
They're
right now.
all amazing except for Meowth. All like amazing.
They are they took they pretty much said, hey, the Alolan forms are pretty cool. They're okay. Why don't we decide to make it better?
Yeah.
And they knocked
did.
it
Yeah.
out of the park
So good.
by taking so many different Pokemon from so many different generations
And then
and
actually,
doing
yeah.
doing
rather than just doing all Gen 1.
Yeah.
Gen 1, yeah.
Like there's definitely more Gen 1 Galarian forms in this game.
But they at least branched out a little.
But there are some that are just have become infinitesimally better because they get an extra evolution or they just look way cooler.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
that's what we're pointing out. Like I think it was Corsola.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
It's a new
Corsola.
The new form. It gets a new Galarian form, but it also gets an evolution,
Finally.
which it didn't have normally.
Yeah.
It just makes it that much cooler and more viable.
And it makes it so much worth like catching. And it's like, okay, I got the Corsola, whatever, I'm done. No, like there's more to it.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
the evolution behind it. Same with what's that fire Pokemon from Gen 5? That turns into a little baby small.
Darmanitan.
Darmanitan, yeah.
He's an ice Pokemon now.
Inside Sword. That's a shield. That's a Sword exclusive, I think.
It's a Sword exclusive, but you could still fight. I still fought him against the Ice type gym leader.
Yep.
In Shield, and like, if he gets hit by a Fire type move, he turns into a Fire Ice Pokemon.
Oh my God.
So all your Fire moves can't be effective anymore.
So does that like change his form at all, or is
It's exactly like in Gen
5,
where his form changes based off of the elements that hit him.
That's insane.
So if you hit him with a Fire type
like
move,
that.
he turns into pretty much a fiery Mr. Snowman.
Okay. Yeah.
And it looks so cool that I'm like, get me one. I want one right now.
I need it.
And I've been having such a happy time with catching those Pokemon. And speaking of catching, this is my biggest gripe with the game.
Oh no.
This is what I think.
Oh, the leveling inside for the Pokemon
kind
badges.
of ruining it. It is what really makes it really difficult to keep playing. At least before I got to be a gym leader, was you can only catch like a certain level Pokemon every gym you fight. So what I mean by that, in case anyone doesn't understand, is at the beginning of the game, you can only, like in other generations, you can only level up your Pokemon to a certain level before it stops listening to you.
Traded Pokemon.
And that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, like if my Pokemon's going to be like level 50 by the time I get to the first gym leader, of course it makes sense it's not going to want to listen to me.
Yeah.
But they also level gate it for catching.
Yeah.
So you see a bunch of Pokemon when you first enter the wild area. You see a bunch of Pokemon that you're like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. Like, sure, it makes sense that you shouldn't get a Beware the minute you start the game.
Yeah, because there is what I've seen, that level 26 Onyx in like one of the very first.
But like
Yeah.
the 26 Onyx, Onyx should be allowed for me to catch.
Yeah.
Because Onyx doesn't necessarily have to be a level 26. Sure, it's big and scary, but like
It has the same attack stat as a Butterfree.
It has
it's
a lower
not-
attack stat than a Joltik.
it's not even. It's like, come on, like
Yeah.
if I want to catch it, I should be allowed to catch it. Same with like some other Pokemon like Duskull. I couldn't catch one because it was too high of a level at
It was
the
too
beginning.
strong.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I really want that Pokemon. Like that.
I
would be
want my
cool.
Dusclops that evolves into a Dusknoir, even though you can catch a Dusknoir
Yeah.
in the wild, apparently.
Yeah, you can. I've seen it a couple times.
I
It's
feel like
cool.
that's just a necessary measure they had to take if they wanted to do what they did with the wild area, where
That's
they had
what I
this
was gonna say.
big open area with a lot of different Pokemon in it that some are stronger than others, some are weaker than others. Because if you go into the wild area and catch like a level 30 Ghastly, you beat the first 3 gyms right there.
So, I see what you're. I definitely agree with
It's
what
a
you're saying.
necessary
It's a necessary evil.
for
Yeah,
the first
exactly.
for the first couple of gyms, sure, but then you're
After beat Kabu
your
in the fire
level-
gym, you
your
literally
level
can't.
gating your level gating for how high you can raise your Pokemon increases significantly.
Yeah.
So you can have like a level 55 Grookey, or its final evolution Grookey, but you still can't catch a level 45
Yep.
Dusclops or whatever, because the level cap says you're not allowed to catch any Pokemon after 40. even though you can raise a Pokemon up to level 50 or 60 and not have any issues. And then that's where it's like, but like I should be allowed to do that now, because if I can prove to my own Pokemon that I can train them, I should be allowed to catch a Pokemon that is significantly weaker than my own Pokemon and put them on my team.
Okay. So would you have been happier had they like stopped that system after a certain gym?
I mean,
would you have just preferred it not be a part at all?
If they were to have, I personally think they shouldn't have kept it at all.
Okay.
I think, like, if you can catch it, you can catch it. Just do like in other games where if it's too high of a level, it won't listen to you.
Yep.
But
did it do that, or was that just traded Pokemon?
No, it does.
It's for all Pokemon.
It was everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
I remember when I didn't know how to play Pokemon, I had a level 36 Charizard on the first gym. Not even before the first gym, just in Viridian City. It's because I didn't know how to play Pokemon. I was 5 years old and I was dumb.
It's an RPG. You don't understand. There's more things outside this one town.
Yeah. When this is your it was my very first video game. Pokemon has been my first video game. But I think it's kind of disheartening. To answer your question, sorry. I personally wish they would have taken it out. But if they were to keep it in, they should have kept the level gates similar.
Okay.
So if you truly don't want me to catch a level 45, like, even though he's not in the game, Infernape, don't let me level up my Pokemon so far in advance to where it looks stupid that a Pokemon is very strong looking, even though I have a level 60.
Yeah, it's significantly weaker than everything you have on your own.
So like instead of like the gym gates, if you get a Pokemon to level 45, now you can catch Pokemon up to level 45.
Yeah, I should be allowed that.
Okay,
I should be allowed to
base it more on the max level of whatever your highest Pokemon is.
So like you put in the effort to grind your Pokemon up to this level, you should be allowed to get Pokemon out of that level or lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even like after the gym, like it tells you, oh, now you can catch the Pokemon above level 45. You should then have it in your player card say you can only level up your Pokemon up to level 45.
Okay.
That way, A, that lets you catch whatever Pokemon you want, and B, lets you not be so super overpowered later in the game.
The mechanic would make sense for the game.
Which we should touch on, actually, is the fact that it is too easy to be over-leveled in this game.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, at certain parts in our playthrough, definitely, like, we were over-leveled for, like, 3 gyms, and plus we always had the type advantage because we had just like the Pokemon we liked, and plus that we nicknamed them too. So our Aegislash inside me and Dylan's playthrough is called Excalibur because it is the sword Pokemon.
Yep.
So literally he's been in the front lining the entire game. We kind of put our Grookey aside for like a long period of time, and we kind of sort of like focused on like the Corviknight and like Aegislash and like Toxicity.
Yeah, we sold like a good 2 hours of the game just with Aegislash.
Yeah, I've done the same thing where I kind of put my starter away for a while and used other Pokemon to grind through. Like I've used Toxtricity the entire game through. I've used Glaciopod. Crap, I forget his name.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Glaciopod? I have no idea if that's
there's the one from Wimpod.
Yeah, Wimpod. And I've used them because I like them and they're cool.
Yeah,
but like, it's so easy to grind in this game because
the XP share can't be turned off.
The XP share can't be turned off.
Not even just the EXP part, but like, so these very strong looking Pokemon that you find in the wild are very easy to kill if you have type advantage and you have weather advantage.
Yeah.
So, for example, there's weather advantage for electric types where it's thundering. So I've been using Toxtricity against Pokemon that should not be one-shot by an electric type.
Yeah.
But, like, he not only has really high special attack, but he's also in an environment where he can one-shot Pokemon because his electric moves are more amplified.
Yeah.
No pun intended for the fact that his Pokemon is a guitar player, but he... Yes, he gets significantly stronger in those environments, so he can one-shot level 56s and level 60s at a level 42. And then that gives you, like, significant
amounts of XP that you shouldn't have been able to get in any situation. Yeah.
So I mean, it like for devil's advocate, I guess is like it makes it easier to grind, and you're not feeling like you're not gonna be stuck at certain parts, which is like one of the downsides to it is that you can overlevel.
I pretty much have been overleveled throughout the entire game except for the point I'm at now, which is the Champion Cup, because my roommates have been telling me just play the game and finish it because of how easy everything is. But now I'm like, okay, now I'm actually like toe to toe with some of the trainers. Like I'm only 2 levels higher or 2 levels lower than previously when I first fought the first 3 gyms, I was 10, 15 levels ahead. Yeah. Because I grinded the wild area for so long when I was first introduced into it. But we've been going for an hour. We should definitely have some final thoughts.
All right, out of 10, what would you rank it as?
I would give this 10. Not a 10. Sorry. I would give this like 6 Corviknights out of 10. It's. I mean, I don't like putting ratings. Because I like a game kind of similar to my vibes with Death Stranding in terms of rating. But like, I'm having fun, and I think that's what's most important.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the game so far, and I'm excited to catch my legendaries, and I'm excited to go shiny hunting. But overall, it feels empty. It feels it gets very boring at times, and it kind of makes me want to play other generations. Because of not only how limited there are a lot of things in this game, but how much they keep trying to get you to be nostalgic for Pokemon.
Right.
And if I really want to be nostalgic for Pokemon, I'll pop in my Pokemon Platinum that I bought a couple months ago and play that instead. Because that's not only challenging, but fun. Whereas this is not challenging, can be fun at times.
It's just inconsistent.
It's just all over the place. I don't think this is a $60 game. Right. I definitely believe this is a $40 game. And I don't want that to diminish the hard work that people did put into this game. Whether you believe hashtag Game Freak lied or hashtag thank you Game Freak. I genuinely think that this game isn't a $60 game. This is definitely an old like 3D, an old DS game that should be at least $35 to $40.
I got you.
It's just not that many improvements. There are good life, like what the heck is it called?
Quality of life.
Quality of life improvements that translated from Let's Go Pikachu and Ultra Sun and Moon into this game, and are doing this that make this so much fun. But then there are other things that are just like, I could care less.
Right.
Like I just want to catch Pokemon and have fun, and that bit I am having, and I think that's what's most important. Is as long as you are having fun with that aspect of it, you should be fine with the game.
Yeah, I got you.
For what you guys are at, I don't know what your guys' final thoughts right now.
I'll give this a decent 7 out of 10 curries, because I enjoy a lot of the fun parts of the Pokemon games, where it's like little the micro game mini games with the Pokemon camp. Mm-hmm. I enjoy those things, like the gimmicks, I guess. But overall, I think there are ideas that can be worked on in future games, but they still come out with a pretty hard bat, and they do a decent job at it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 as well, because, it's, at the end of the day, it's still a Pokemon game. It's still amazing. And it's just, Pokemon games are fun. There are some mechanics that take away from it, some that add from it. They haven't taken so much away that playing Pokemon isn't fun anymore and isn't an enjoyable experience. So it's still a great game, just because Pokemon's always a great game. How it stacks up to other Pokemon games, it's probably on the lower side, but it's a great game nonetheless.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please click the bell to get notifications, and we'll see you in the next video.